Hey, what's up everybody? Kris here with Wizards D.G Gaming. So, the new NBA 2K22 has been out for a little bit now, and I know a lot of people, myself included, have been on the grind getting comfortable with some of the new changes and getting a feel for the game. And with the NBA 2K Season 5 draft rapidly approaching, I know a lot of people are tinkering with the positions and trying to get the most out of each build. So, I wanted to make this video series to show what I think are the best configurations for each build in NBA 2K22. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the point guard position and a couple of different ways that you can set yourself up for success with this build. Now let's take a look. So first up, my favorite and most commonly used build in NBA 2K22. Remember, these builds are specifically tailored to Pro-Am, so if you play another game mode, these builds will not necessarily be the best for you. This first build, the only thing you'll have to change before making the build is going into settings, features, and changing a unit of measurement to metric. This will allow you to create your player using the metric system, which will allow you to create a taller player while maintaining a lot of the badges that you will need to create a player. The equivalent of this player is 5'10" in the normal measurement system, but if you make this player normally using the Imperial system, you would have to make him 5'9". So if you want the extra inch, change it to metric and make him 1.77 meters and 66 kilograms, and with a 1.75 meter wingspan. But if you don't care about that, you can make him 5'10", you'll just lose out on a little bit of the badges. Body shape slate doesn't matter as much, that's just usually what I like to go to. And now getting into the attributes. So this build will have absolutely no finishing. You will not be able to drive whatsoever unless you're wide open on a fast break for a layup. But you won't need to, because looking at all the other statistics, you are going to dominate the three-point line. You're going to be faster than everybody else on the court. So you're going to have a 99 three-pointer. That allows you to get Hall of Fame blinders. You're going to have a 95 mid-range, which is huge because you're going to have to take a lot of middies over going to the basket. And the majority of the time, you'll be able to green these. For playmaking, you're going to have a 97 pass accuracy, which is the lowest threshold for Hall of Fame bullet passer, which is huge this year. Ball handling, you'll have a 99, which gives you Hall of Fame unpluckable. And even though they patched the steals a little bit, the steals are still overpowered. So having Hall of Fame unpluckable will just give you a huge edge on the competition. 98 speed with ball doesn't really give you much, but it gives you lightning fast speed with the ball in your hands, which is always good. For defense, you're getting a 90 steal, which is the minimum threshold for Hall of Fame interceptor. Guys, I didn't have Hall of Fame interceptor last year in Pro-Am, and that hurt me severely. You want to have Hall of Fame interceptor on your build no matter what. It's going to make your own personal defense as well as your team defense so much better. You're also going to have a 63 perimeter defense, which gives you bronze clamps. A lot of other builds that are made, you can't even get clamps, point guard builds that are. So for this build, having bronze clamps is going to give you a huge edge if and when you do have to guard the off-ball player or you're switched on to a point guard. For the physicals, like I said at the beginning, you're going to be lightning fast. You have 99 speed and 99 acceleration. Nobody is going to be able to keep up with you. Locks are going to have to be super small just to keep up, and you're going to be blazing around the three-point line, the mid-range, and teams are going to have to really game plan to stop you. And then ending with a 95 stamina just to top it off so you won't get tired. So that's build number one. Let's head over to build number two. So on to build number two. This is a much more balanced build than build number one. It's a little bit taller and it can do a little bit more on both ends, especially offensively in terms of shooting the ball as well as driving. And we'll get right into it. So this build, we're back to the normal system of 6 feet, minimum weight. I make all my point guards minimum weight, and then the wingspan is 6'3", body shape slight. Onto the attributes. So for finishing, I put the driving dunk at an 84. That way you get driving contact dunks. Since this is a two-way build in terms of offensively being able to shoot and drive, I don't think it would be really beneficial to make the build without driving contacts. Some people like to do this, but I don't. I know the driving contacts aren't the best in this game, but when they do trigger, you're going to be grateful that you have them on. Heading down to the shooting, we have a 94-3, which is obviously extremely greenable, and you're going to be greening a ton of shots, especially if you're open. The drawbacks to this one are you do not get Hall of Fame blinders, Hall of Fame chef, Hall of Fame sniper, Hall of Fame hot zone hunter, and Hall of Fame stop and pop, which In this game, those are all really good badges to have. You don't need them. This build will be completely fine. You can compete in any competitive mode with this build. You're just not going to have the Hall of Fame badges compared to the build number 1 that we made. But what you lack in those Hall of Fames, you make up for it in being able to drive the ball and getting driving contacts. Like I mentioned in the last video, you want to have a 90 steal to get Hall of Fame interceptor and a 63 perimeter defense to get bronze clamps. And then for the physicals, you're going to have, max speed for this build, which is 96 with 95 acceleration and 97 stamina. Again, this build is great offensively. If you want to run pick and pop, you can drive, you can shoot, and you can kind of do it all, and you're a little bit taller. So let's head into build number 3. So build number 3 is a little bit more of like a Russell Westbrook type build. So you see that 6'2" minimum weight at 165. The big thing about this build, it's taller than the other 2 builds, and the wingspan is a lot longer. So the wingspan is 6'9", which is really going to allow you to play lanes on defense. You're going to give the other opposing point guard a lot of trouble with this 6'9" wingspan guarding off ball. They're not going to be able to make a lot of the passes they're used to making on minimum wingspan players who are guarding the opposite hash. So let's get into the build and look at the attributes. Another thing about this build and why I call it the Russell Westbrook build is because it has a 92 driving dunk. This means you get every single contact dunk for guards unlocked in the game. This is going to give you a huge advantage when you're driving to the rim. It's going to give you contact dunks that you can't get below a 92, and it's going to avoid you getting blocked a lot of the time, even though you still will get chased down on, but it's going to happen a lot less frequently. The 3-point is obviously the least amount of out of any of the 3 builds that we made here today. It has an 88-3, which is still very greenable, a 75 midi, which is not always greenable, but if you know your shot timing and you're a good shooter, this will still be very effective for you, and a 72 free throw, which is perfectly fine. For playmaking, you're still going to get Hall of Fame bullet passer, meeting that 97 threshold. Ball handling is a 90, so you're not going to get Hall of Fame unpluckable just like the last build, which is fine. And speed with ball 92, which is going to make you just fast enough to be able to get open on pick and roll. Defensively, again, here we go with the 90 steal to get Hall of Fame interceptor, which combined with the 6'9" wingspan, like I said, it's going to give the other team's guards absolute problems when they're trying to pass the ball around the court. And 63 perimeter defense to get that bronze clamps, which in my opinion is super important this year as well. For the physicals, it's going to be the slowest build, so you're not going to be able to hit some of those driving lanes, but you're going to make up for it with those 92 driving contact dunks animations, which are absolutely crazy. So it has a 90 speed and 87 acceleration. You'll still be able to get open on pick and roll, an 85 vertical and 93 stamina. So this is the tallest build. It has the highest, the longest wingspan, and it unlocks every driving dunk in the game. So if you're more of a rim running type guard, this is the build for you. You're going to be able to play amazing defense. You're going to be able to get to the rim as well as still shoot the ball very effectively from 3. So there you have it, just a few of the ways you can customize your point guard position in the new NBA 2K22. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more content from Wizards D.G.